Alright, hello, and welcome everybody back to another stream. I'm Yoursimcfi, and I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Today we're going to be in the Black Square, let's say TBM. It's the Black Square Caravan. I just picked this thing up yesterday. Want to mention, if you hear drilling in the back, they're doing work in my condo, so you'll maybe hear that. It's kind of annoying, but gotta live with it. We're using the Moza yoke today, obviously, and I have a Kodiak profile loaded that I'm gonna kind of tweak as we fly this. We're going to do some beach hopping today. We're just gonna be going from beach to beach. Starting off in St. Bart's, and we're gonna go over to St. Martin. I had to reinstall my sim because I messed up something, so I think I got everything installed, but I think I forgot to get my reshade reinstalled, so it might look a little dull and not as good as before. But we'll live with it. So yeah, never flown this airplane before. We're gonna just go up and figure it out, watch a couple videos here and there. Should be fine. And it's a big Cessna, so we'll be okay with the turboprop engine. So from what I saw, by the way, this is the flight deck of the Cessna 208. If you haven't seen it or been in it, it's a turboprop aircraft. So you have a throttle, a prop lever, and a condition lever. As you would. We can disconnect our gust lock there so the yoke can freely move. And we're going to go and start off at the top here, get our fuel. Wait, never mind. That was already on. Putting the fuel back on. And then we're going to get our battery power on. Followed by the avionics. Why is the engine starting? Let's turn the battery off. The avionics. That switch doesn't start for some reason. Turn the battery back on. There we go. The yoke was vibrating because of the vibration of the engine. It's kind of funny. Anyways, we'll come over here. So battery, avionics. That's all it should have been happening right now. We'll get our seatbelt. No smoking. Wait, that's nav light on, beacon on, smoking seat belts right there. Wait for these to kind of fire on up. Yohem says Sigma, welcome. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And the first airport we're going to go to, this is a route, by the way, requested from Aviation Bros, so we're going to be flying that for him. We are going to direct, put the keyboard on, TNCM, St. Martin. It shouldn't be searching that long. We're going to set this to GPS, which it is. We'll set that to RNAV. Oh, look, it's actually building. That's cool. It's actually acquiring the status of where we are. That's actually kind of neat. It doesn't just work right off the bat. So we'll let that build up. While that's building up, let's go ahead and set our altimeter with the B button, and we'll get the engine started. So our condition lever is in cutoff, our props all the way forward, fuel shutoffs are in. I'm going to go over here, and I believe it was fuel boost, start ignition. All right, and now we have the prop is starting to spin. I got to lessen the effect of the vibration because it's kind of quick. It's vibrating quite a bit. And once we hit 20%, we're going to go ahead and add our condition lever to low idle. Close enough for me. Low idle. Introducing fuel. You can see everything's coming alive nicely here. Got our fuel flow, ITT, and everything's perfectly fine. Keeping it tight, I sure hope. Oh yeah, my friend. Love the Black Square version, so fun. Yeah, this is my very first flight ever, and I've never used this airplane before. I have in like different sims a while ago, but I haven't used this before. Alrighty, so now we can come over here. I guess we can leave that on there. The starter can get turned off. The ignition back to normal. Can reset the gen. There we go. Standby electric power in off. Boop. There we go. And we've gotten rid of all our messages. So this is all set up nicely. There's only one way to take off out of here, so I'll set the heading indicator roughly to that. Oh, you know what? Let me actually, I don't know if this is going to work, but let me plug in the DAP 500. That's the Wingflex DAP 500. I have a video on that on my channel recently just been uploaded, and it should work actually quite well with this airplane. Let me get it plugged in. Okay, that just destroyed the engine when I plugged that in. It's okay, we're going to restart you. Start. On. Low idle. I don't know why it destroyed the engine when I plugged that in, but don't worry about that. Quickly go over here, we'll find DAP 500, and we'll just select DAP 5 Gen. Perfect. That's all good to go. Engine's coming back online. Opinion on the state of the CRJ? It's okay-ish. We'll go to high idle. Let's do what we did earlier, so norm, reset, norm, off. There we go. That's all good. Now we're good to go. Sweet. Over here, this looks like a autopilot panel right here, so I'm just going to test it. Click autopilot. That works. Heading mode. Heading. Vertical speed works. Okay, so we're all good. Press the autopilot button. Takes that off. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We're all good to go on that, so that's good. Let's set our altitude up to, we're flying VFR, we'll just go, we're flying westbound, we'll do 4,500. Nice and low. Why don't we do 6,500? Whatever, it's going to be a very short flight. I'm going to set up my little navigation screen here as well. Click menu, set up map. I want, first of all, please go down. I want track up, not north up. That's good. Press clear on that. We can zoom on in. Then menu, data fields on. We have distance, direct track, estimate time en route. So that's all good. That's been all done. And then lastly, we can go on to vPilot. Why not, right? One Shiku, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Mike, hello, welcome. By the way, guys, Mike is trying to run a event, so if you guys could be so kind to go join his event, that'd be amazing. These clouds are not looking very VFR friendly. Why is this? Why is it so laggy here? That's why. There we go. Better. All right. Anyways, that's been done. Let's connect over to Batson here. We're Foxtrot Yankee Alpha Lima. And we're assessing 208. Connect. Not CCAF, GFFJ. 18450. 18. Holy scrolly. 450. In there. Alrighty. Perfect. Alright, well, I'm pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and take the, actually, let's do this first. Let's see here. Taxi on. Park and brake off. And we have the glitch. This is a glitch I've been encountering with all prop airplanes. I don't know what it is, but if I set up any controls, it just uncontrollably turns to the right. The only way I have found to fix this is to press main menu, free flight, and redo the whole thing. But I'm not going to do the startup. We'll just spawn in the runway. And I'll spawn and bat him in the air. Fix your crap, Queen. That's what I used to fly before the RJ Freight Dog. Nice. Yeah, the RJ is probably a much nicer upgrade. Is SU6? No, it's not. I stopped that. See, now we're on the runway pre-spawned. And if I go, it goes straight. I haven't changed anything but doing that. And I just realized I didn't set up my pedals, so I'm going to get broken again. Pedals. As I said, this is my very first flight in this thing. for sure. Watch, I bet if I do this, it's gonna go... Ooh, it's going straight. Alright, nice. Perfect. The yoke is actually following my, like, the Moza yoke. If I turn the yoke on here, you guys can see the yoke. It's pretty cool what it's doing. I'll bring the camera down. We got our honeycomb Bravo up and running. If I turn the parking brake off and then turn it back on, you see it moves with the you can see it moves like the real one. That's kind of cool. I don't know if it should be doing that, but it's doing that. Flap setting for takeoff. I'm assuming we don't even need flap for takeoff. Usually Cessnas don't really need much, but we'll do 10 just in case. Why not? I'm gonna treat this like a big 172. Again, this is my very first flight in this thing. We'll squawk 1200, even though it's not looking all. It's not really looking all VFR-y, so we're gonna break some rules. There you go. And if you guys are ready to go, Skills, unfortunately, I got 23 hours in the C208. That plane can handle anything. Yeah, it's a beast, this thing. Got the brakes set. Bring the power up. I do not know what power setting I should be aiming for, but I'm just gonna go 100%. Brakes released. Back to adding right rudder. Speed's live. Temperature pressure all in the green. There we go. Oh, she flies nice with this Moza yoke. Very nice with the Moza yoke. I'm gonna get the GPS all set up again. Flap 20, rotate 74, flap 10, 400 feet, above 85, flap 0 to 95. It's too many numbers. I'll go flap 0 right now, it'll be fine. I'm not gonna learn new numbers. I got CRJ numbers in my brain. Oh, maybe I should have used the flap. Maybe I should have kept the flap. Maybe I should have kept the flap. Flap back down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I promise. I promise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did not like that. There, flap 095. We'll listen. I'm sorry, airplane. I thought you were a big 172. You're not. She hand flies well. This is my very first flight in it, so it flies quite nice. The Moza yoke makes this a very enjoyable experience, and you can't obviously tell the amount of force that's required, but I'm like really pulling to make that do what that needs to do. Climb speed's 120. Roger. 120. That seems kind of quick for this thing. Alright, I just remember we had to fly a heading of roughly west, so I'm going to turn to the, let's see here. Turn to the right. Getting banged around in these little mountain bumps here. Now that's bush flying, yes. Almost literally. And I'll set the GPS on the way. This is definitely going to be a VFR or an IFR flight. There's no way we're doing VFR. Well, we can, but we're just going to stay quite low. Alright, we'll do this just for the time being. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to press yaw damper. I don't know if we have that. We're going to set our heading to where we are. I'm using the DAP 500 for this, by the way. It's a little slow, but anyways, it'll eventually get there. There we go. So, heading mode, bing bong, autopilot, flight director, or a vertical speed. We'll do about 700 a minute, and we're going up to, let's call it 5,000, 6,000. More than enough, and we'll arm it. Arm. There we go. Now that that's doing that, airspeed's looking quite nice. Does this have like a speed mode, IS mode I can climb at? Approach? No, that's fine. We'll just do this. I'll be fine. We'll go direct. There we go. Oh, that's pretty close. And we'll click nav. Click lonk, GPS, RNAV. There we go. No icing here because of the clouds are quite warm. What I can do, I guess, I can put these up in auto. So windshield prop in auto. And now that we are in the air, special VFR? No, this is straight IFR. Now that we're in the air, I'm just gonna go ahead and join V-Pilot here. Don't really need to, I guess, but might as well. We're not in anybody's controlled airspace, so we can do that. I just don't want to have to make a flight plan for all these short little flights. There's St. Martin coming up in the distance there. Might even stop at 4,000, to be honest with you guys, because we're almost there. So 4,000 feet. Can't tell when it's armed, but we'll say it's armed. It seems to work quite well at 120, as he says. Just picked a vertical speed that looked okay. Black Square has some of my favorite planes. Yeah, they make some good stuff. I don't really have a lot of them. I think this is one of my first planes from them, to be honest with you. She hand flies really well, though. Very well. Autopilot disengaged. Seems kind of dark in the flight deck. A lot of light, a lot of cloud around this to be quite bright in here. And I don't know if there's a way to put a flight director on. I don't really need it. But just in future reference, probably isn't. Cessna doesn't believe in flight directors. You know it's a Cessna because you can do it's the Italian way of flying. 3 fingers. That's all you need to fly this thing. There's 4,000. Slowly level the nose off there. Trim for that. Let's get our speed up a little bit, and then we're going to reduce our thrust. Still debating which one I enjoy more, the Kodiak after the recent update. Yeah, I don't know. They're both good. I mean, I haven't flown this plane. Like, this is the first like 10 minutes you're witnessing me do this. My favorite aircraft from Black Square is the Starship. That one I've seen, but I don't own. I'm just gonna disconnect from VATSIM just to keep this chill and fun. I don't have to make a billion flight plans today. Yeah, I was hoping the weather would be a little bit better, but that's okay. We'll just fly IFR. There's a little navigation thing right here, and what we can do, it went away, so I'll put the data fields back on. Go. We got 9 miles to go. The airport's just actually right there, so we can go ahead and just start to reduce our power a little bit. Look at the yoke. I'm gonna put the power back in. Look at that. Look at it move. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring the power back out. That's so cool. I'm telling you guys, the Moza yoke shines. It really shines with the GA aircraft. It's cool with everything else, but it really does shine with GA. I'm going for CRJ vertical speed here. We'll do like 1,000 a minute. It's probably a lot for this airplane. Would have been kind of cool to fly one of these airplanes before the RJ, but it was kind of nice going from a 172 to a jet. I can kind of skip all this stuff. Alright, so the airport obviously will be at sea level, so we'll plan to be down there at circuit height. We'll probably join the mid-left downwind. Let me check what the weather is real quickly. St. Martin's just going to be on the nose. Right here. Yeah, if you guys like GA flying, Moza yoke and the DAP 500. The two things that are really, really cool for this, in my opinion at least. How is the force feedback on the Moza yoke? Fantastic for this airplane. It is really good on these GA aircraft. Really, really good. So let's get TNCM weather. They are using runway 10. Perfect. Mid left downwind is going to work just fine. I might add, I know it's probably not super real, but I'm just going to lessen the aileron force just a little bit. That way I can, there we go. Now there's a little bit, tiny bit of play with the yoke before actually something happens. It feels more realistic to me at least. We're descending down to about 1,000 feet. Coast of St. Martin. Beauty, beauty, beauty. I gotta fix my views. I'll turn right for the mid-left. Yeah, this yoke feels really good. Really, really good with this aircraft. I think it feels better than the Kodiak, actually. Make sure all my flaps are up. Forget to use those feet. I'm gonna make sure actually my rudder works well. Okay, so that all works kind of nicely. It's a good amount of pressure required. Still coming down to about 1,000 feet. You'd make your St. Martin or Prince Juliet traffic, Foxtrot Yankee Lima, overhead the field, joining mid left downwind runway 10. Fokker is such a quirky plane. Flapless takeoff and sometimes landing with no reverse thrust. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love that plane. I'm gonna add just a tiny little bit of power. And we're gonna bring the nose up just to 2/3 sky, 1/3 ground. So tiny bit more, just about that ratio. And if I let go of my yoke, it's not trimmed, so bring it back. And we're just gonna nose trim up for that. She flies level. There we go. Let's go ahead and turn downwind, keeping that level flight outside. Needs a lot of back pressure here. If I let go, it comes straight forward. So I'm really having to pull a lot of force actually required to hold that. This is where, oh, I should get my track IR plugged in. This is where track IR is like necessary. You know what? Let me start track IR. I have it on my desk already. I think it's already plugged in. Find where it is. I'm gonna pause really quickly, guys. I have it right here. Might as well use it. There we go. Boop. Unpause. Turn the cameras back on. Runway's over there. Track IR is a game changer for this. I'm gonna go first notch of flap 10. I'm gonna reduce my power first, then flap 10. There we go. We'll turn base. Actually, that's a little too close. I just saw the runway there. A little too close. You probably could just dive it in, but for the first one, I'm gonna give myself some time. Get used to the airplane, how it flies. Alright, now we'll go ahead and turn base. So you'd say Princess Juliana traffic, Foxtrot Yankee Lima is turning base, runway 10. Runway's just over there in the distance, gonna reduce our power just a little bit more. Yeah, it seems very dark in the flight deck. The ray trace shadows are beautiful. I'm going to treat this exactly like a 172. So now that we're on the base, I'm going to reduce the power just a little bit more. Flap 20. The yoke's moving forward. It's really cool. This is really, really well done. Let's see if I can get a good landing. I haven't landed a GA plane in a little bit, so I got to remember how low they are. Alright, we'll turn nice final here. A little high, that's okay. In these type of airplanes, you can choose to slip. I don't really need to slip just yet. And weather's changed. And if we're flying passengers, you gotta remember that we do have people's comfort in mind. But we're starting to get her nicely worked out. We'll go flap, I'll hold 80 knots for a bit. I'll go flap 30 near the end. Tiny bit of power coming in now. And we're gonna start pitching up a little bit. Flap full. This aircraft probably approaches around 80? 70? I don't know. We'll start with 80. Anybody, you guys can correct me. But 80 cut in half is 40 at a 0, 400 feet per minute should be what's required to maintain this descent path for the glide slope. I don't know if you guys know that's a little trick you can do. Take your ground speed, cut it in half at a 0. This airplane's a joy to fly, really is with the Moza yoke. It is beautiful to fly. I'm going to treat it like a Cessna, so as soon as the runway's made, I'm going to go power idle nice and smooth. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, or if you treat it more like a turboprop, like a Dash 8 type thing, where you just smoothly bring it back. You're probably supposed to smoothly bring it back. But I'm going to try the Cessna version first. So the runway's made, which means I can glide here even if my engine fails. Power idle. Looking all the way down to the end. Oh, it gets real heavy in the yoke. Hold her back, 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 back. Nicely back. Nice, just holding her off, holding her off. She's low. Oh! Bring her into beta. Oh my gosh, that was a beauty to land with this. My rudder control is a little bad, but the what I'm talking about is the amount of force and pressure required to use on this was really nice. Manual braking, obviously. We're gonna exit off to the left. If you guys want to fly with me, let me know, and I'll go on VATS and we can all fly together. We're gonna be clear on the right, we're clear on the left. Guys, I think I just found a really good flight model. Well, I didn't find it. You guys already knew about this plane. But in my own mind, I found one that I'll enjoy and like. I think it's better than the Kodiak, personally. Where am I going to park? No idea. We're just going to put it right here. Stranger, 100%. I have a yoke review on my channel. I paid for this yoke. They did not send me this. However, if you would like to help out the channel, you can go ahead and use the link in the description. That would really support the channel if you use our affiliate link there. But it is really cool for these airplanes. The what's it called? The airliners are great and they're cool too. But it's almost like a flip of the switch when you get in the general aviation airplanes with this yoke specifically. It is really good. Let's go ahead and turn off. That's all fine. We'll leave the engine running. I'm gonna go to our next destination, which I think is just right back to St. Bart's. We're gonna go, yes, back to TFFJ. So direct TFFJ. Enter, enter. Awesome, we'll go back there. So we'll go parking brake. I wonder if I can do sim brief. I'll just quickly do this. I'll make a sim brief flight plan just to go on VATSIM to make it kind of cool. It's going to be TFFJ, technically the TFFJ, and I'm just going to put my route as me flying around a little bit. It's going to be, oh, stop. Yeah, it's fine. Refile network, refile. I'm going to change it to VFR. Yankee Alpha Lima. It's going to be VFR. Go, and it is proof must be entered and can only contain, yes. Oh, see what I did. Sorry about the drills, guys. I'm actually very amazed on this yoke. Feels so good with this airplane. It is fantastic. Let's see, let's connect to VATSIM. Connected. Good. Dot CTAC NCM 18.7, and the next one's going to be 18.450, I think, from memory. It'll be St. Bart's. Good to go. Awesome. What the heck? Sorry, buddy. Let me get out of your way. I'm gonna smash into your tail. Don't worry about that. We're fine. It's a video game. Go over here. Awesome. Chew, if you're still here, let me know if the yoke moves forward like that when you go into beta. Does it do that? But every time I brake, it moves. There's an aircraft just over there. I think he's going right for us. Three, two, one. Disconnect. Good job, buddy. Good job being in control. 3, 2, 1. Reconnect. What's this? Standby power? Oh, I think I went to beta for too long. Got better than the Kodiak, in my opinion. Did you just type that in? That was fast? Yeah, man. Be quick, bro. Be quick out here. Make a quick radio call. There's no center line, right? That'd be a bad idea. No, there is. Pursuing traffic is Foxtrot 8 Kilo, taxiing Charlie, backtracking runway 10 for departure. Alright, about to enter the runway here. We'll go on. We're clear on the right. Clear on the left. Let's get the head tracking back on. And that drilling is so annoying. I'm so sorry for that if you hear it. Sounds like an A220's in my freaking house. Might be can fix it if I need that. There we go. It might get a little quieter. Hopefully we'll get accurate as much. Yeah, I'm enjoying this airplane already. That was my very first flight in it at all. Really liking it so far. He said flap 20 for departure, so we'll go with flap 20. I don't know where my trim... Oh, there's my trim setting right there. Make sure I'm not going in the water. Good. Take off trim right there. Oops. Reset my view. That's enough room for a caravan. Purchase traffic marshal is going to be take off 10 departure of these. Felt so good in the flare as well, guys. Alright, if you guys are ready, let's get going. Okay, everything's in the green. Airspeed alive. That right rudder input. A little bit of right aileron actually from the wind as well. It's rotating by itself. I'll just kind of let her go. If you want to take those speeds again, I'll need those. Alright, we'll go flap 10. Flap 0, take our right hand turn. Beautiful departure out of St. Martin here. Little red light. Having temp high. It's probably too hot. Alright, well. Good old Cessna. That one. That one. Where's the... I'm trying to find the... oh, there it is. nicely. Defrost. That was low air, I guess. Whoa, that's a big bump right there. Chase plane back up and running. I switch over to the next frequency. Slowly climbing away. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I bought a Top Gun mug. Might be too dark. From the Intrepid Museum in New York. It has Top Gun written in there. Pretty cool little cup. With Tomcat written on it. Put this back. We'll just leave all our lights on. It's fine. We're going to be pretty much landing very shortly anyways. This works. Oops. On weather. Functions in this, that's kind of cool. Don't know how to turn it on though. Okay, we'll just pick our way through the open spots there. Love the cup? Yeah, it's a pretty sweet cup. Pretty cool little cup. Add a little bit of right rudder. So I'm going to keep holding my foot there. Don't though want to add the aileron. That's centered. I guess. There we go. Got 10 miles to go. 5 minutes. We're at 6,000 feet. So if I do 1,000 a minute, it brings me to 1,000. It works out quite well. Bring our power back down. These are flights that I can handle. These are nice flights. And we're going to shoot for about 1,200 a minute or so. I'm pretty sure you have to take off and land to the east, if I'm not mistaken. Heading mode, autopilot, vertical speed, 1,000, 1,200 down. There we go, so make sure I brought my flaps up and go down to about 1,500 feet or so. Arm that. Autopilot is, oh, was engaged. Heading, vertical speed. Autopilot. There we go, head vertical speed, sweet. Thank you guys all for watching. Really appreciate you guys being here. Cabin too hot, thing went away, so that's good. Clear in here. I'm gonna recenter our trim. Should probably map that. Alright, we're gonna go off to the left a little bit, just a wee bit. This is definitely a dark cloud. Definitely probably some precip in this thing. But we're still visual with the ground below, so that's okay. We'll see through that one as well. This would not be VFR. Just keep that in mind. Definitely would not be VFR flying at all. But in video game land, I'm gonna go for it. Keep going. While I'm here, I might as well change my views. Alright, airport's going to be off to the left there. Pilot disengaged. I think it's in that hill right there. So we're just going to do maybe some shuttle descents out here. Let's do a slide. Let's do a forward slip. Why not? So I'm going to put full right rudder. Right? If I do nothing, obviously the airplane's going to go that way. So I got to hold it off. And now our speed is staying constant around 120. We're getting 3,000 feet per minute. That's a massive descent rate for an airplane of this size. I'm gonna let this slip go nice and gently here, and then we'll bring it around to the left-hand turn. The rudder is out. Just watched a review of the long base. I might have to add a dedicated desk. You might have to get one for that. The yoke gets really stiff to pull back on if I don't trim, which is very realistic. Very cool. I'm gonna hold my height up a little bit. I think it's, yeah, it's in this little crevice. So we're gonna keep going this way. Just to get prepared a little early, I'm gonna go flap 10 just from now, so I have that potential to descend. I still don't know what the approach speed is. If anybody knows, let me know. I'll approach about 70, I guess. It kind of floated for a bit last time, so we might be able to get a little slower. I think it's in here. If I'm not mistaken, that's where it is. Yeah, I'm thinking that's correct. Flap 20, a little bit of power. Looks like the flattest rock ever. It's going to be like my FSX 13-year-old days. Just doing this approach over and over and over again. You go to Sabo? What's the airport code for that one? Really appreciate all you guys jumping in, by the way, and watching, liking the stream, doing all that great stuff. You guys have been going crazy on the donos as well, so thank you for all that support. I'm going to go flap full. Looks like stall with flap is about 50, so I'll come in around 70s. Trim that off a little bit. Don't know what that means. There's a runway right there. You guys can see it. Just ahead. A little crevice down there. I'm gonna hold this for a little bit, and I'm gonna start on the way down. There we go. Now we can see the airport a little bit better. Our throttle back a wee bit. Looks like we have a bit of a wind. We'll have to add some right rudder later on. Because it's a bit of a trickier airport, I'm going to add the rudder a little early. It's called a side slip for drift correction. We're going to do that. Okay. What was that? That's a pretty big shear. Oh, we're going way high. That's a mist. That's 1,000,000% a mist. Okay, we'll go around nice and slowly here. Flap 20 immediately. This is where the Microsoft wins are like a little cheesy, in my opinion. A little bit less power. Flap 10. We'll just do a bit of a circuit. I'm just having fun, guys. We're just chilling, having a good time. Flap 0. No, we're not gonna crash. Flaps are all the way up. Back to 1,000 feet. Come back around. Probably not a good idea to be doing this in stormy weather. Yeah, we hit a super almost like wake turbulence. So it's more of like a wake turbulence kind of a roll, and then a downdraft, and then a huge updraft, and it brought us like that. It's called Microsoft Flight Sim. Exactly. It's pretty bad. Well, that's wild. That's an MSFS thing, though. It is. It's super annoying. These islands are beautiful, though. How are the sounds? Are they all good? Are they too loud for you guys? You let me know. Let me lower the sounds a little bit for you. I think FFJ has a weirdness about it in the game, though. It's not you. Yeah, I don't. I'm pretty confident it's not me at this point in my career. I kind of know what should be happening and kind of not. And yes, there is turbulence, but like a 30-degree bank. I don't know. Plus, I was like that much to correct. You should be able to hold that off stronger than I'm able to. But the airport should be coming around that corner again. We're going to try again from a little bit higher this time. Go flap 10. Flap 20. I think. Yes. Oh, missed my turn. Whoopsie. I always say that it's probably harder in the sim than in real life. Yes and no. The physics aren't really correct in the sim, but there's a lot of more real life factors that you have to play into it, like just like the way you're feeling that day. I'm having fun playing a game, right? But the psychological stuff of real life plays a role in how you fly. The sights, the sounds, the feeling on the body. All that stuff plays into it. But if you were just like in your pajamas flying a plane, it feels better to fly a plane in real life than it does in the sim, for sure. Having this really does help, though. Having a force feedback yoke makes it very, very good. All right, flap full. Maybe I shouldn't do a flap full into here. Maybe if I know it sounds dumb, but with the wind the way it is, getting a little shallow here. Uh-oh. Stop. I'll be more aggressive this time. No. No. There's a huge updraft. I'm gonna forward slip this all the way down. There you go. It's so dumb. Yes, I'm still slipping it. That was terrible. Never do that in real life, by the way, guys. But yeah, it goes like this. Every approach in here is going to be a go around. So for video purposes, I'm going to keep it going. I think I have to be higher and more of like a penetrating descent on that. But it definitely is a very strange wind out there. You know what? Let's try that one again. I have a theory that I want to try. Okay, I'm just gonna get fast. I was pretty much of a greaser though, if you think about it. We're gonna get fast. I'm gonna slew myself back. We'll try one more time. Leave my flaps at full, just so I can be configured when I slew back. This thing wants to go at around 78. All right, so we'll do that. Slew. That's incredible short field performance. Do that. I'm gonna start from higher. About there, maybe. And then I'm gonna pitch the nose down. And we're gonna go idle here. Nope, not idle. It's just you get launched like that. It's like this. You just get launched. That's okay. We'll continue to the next destination. Is the autopilot on? Autopilot's on. Get out of here. Was that why? Let's try again. Let's try to see if that was a slew problem. But you literally just get launched. And like, he'd be barfing so much in real airplane. There's the downdraft. Look at that. Super downdraft. Yeah, okay. We're gone. It'd be a mist. Yeah, these Microsoft wins are quite interesting. We'll do one flap down. There's no retractable gear in this. Why do I hear a switch when I do my gear? I don't know. Mr. Jeff Fabiano, welcome. This isn't my usual content. I'm flying the Black Square Cessna 208 for the first time. And I'm assessing, we're having fun looking at the Microsoft wins. They're pretty cheesy into here. Coming from where we're flying to Microsoft wins are quite interesting, as you know. But thank you so much for stopping in, Jeff. Been loving the content you've been doing for years as well. Appreciate you being here. We're going to go over to the next destination, which is going to be TFFG, which I had in the flight plan preset. We'll go direct. This button right here. TFFG. Alrighty. That reverse sounds absolutely amazing. It does sound pretty good. Kilos has the same issue. When you get close to the ground, you were launched in the air like a rocket. Yeah, that's a very Microsoft-y thing. If you want helicopters, the best helicopter experience you're going to have is DCS. That's my opinion. But DCS have always had the best flight models of all time. Again, that's just my opinion. Better than X-Plane, better than Microsoft, better than anything. Can you fly over to TQPF north of St. Martin? Sure. Let me do this route real quick, and then we'll bring it back over to St. Martin. All these islands are very close, so I'm not gonna go. I'm only gonna go. I'm on this way for 5 minutes, so we'll go this route, and then we'll head back over to St. Martin. Love this airplane. Yeah, it's really good. I bought it yesterday. I've never flown it. Just flying for the first time today. Lands really nicely. Flies really well, especially with the Moza yoke. I got a profile that I custom made for it. It flies really well. You can see that how much force I require, and it snaps right back. It's really, really good with this airplane. So really loving it. Very, very nice to hand fly. Is the airport next to TFFG? It's the airport next to it? Okay. Well, we're gonna head back, and then we'll dart around there. we'll stay under the lightning there. But yeah, the Microsoft Wind/Turbulence has always been an interesting one. I feel like it's gotten worse in 2024. I don't know what it is. They make it seem like airplanes are kites. Coming off the CRJ in real world, like, it's not a kite. Like, it weighs, at the lightest I've ever landed the RJ, we're at 55,000 pounds, which is pretty light for a CRJ in 900 anyways. But it's still 55,000 pounds, and it's, you know, in the sim it kind of just, oh, I just knocked my camera, but in the sim it just gets knocked like all over the place. But yeah, hopefully they can fix it soon. Did you ever get time with no, never flew the 208. I did 172, a little bit of Seminole, and then I instructed on the 172. And then by the time I got my hours up, I went straight to the CRJ. So I went 172 to CRJ, which is a pretty big jump, but it was a lot of fun. I've been simming for about 14 years. All types of airplanes, DCS, Microsoft, P3D, X-Plane, everything you can think of. The IXEG 37 Classic, all the PMDGs, even the PMDG MD11 when that was a thing. So going from a 172 to the CRJ would be a big step, but from all the sim experience, it really did help to bridge the gap between systems and talking the radios, and VATSIM was a big help and all that stuff. So that's why I tell everybody getting into flying is if they can afford just a basic gaming PC, it doesn't have to be anything crazy like I got going on, or just a regular laptop if you can, or if it's someone's dad or like a mom, I say get your kid a flight simulator, because even if they use it incorrectly, they're still going to be learning the boundaries. Like if someone's just, you know, going crazy and stuff and they stall out, you know, some process starts to take place in the brain of like, maybe I can't do that, right? And then if the person's interested in flight, they'll go on their own and look up on YouTube like, what happens when I pull back? Why can't I pull back indefinitely or something, right? And they'll get to, well, and you end up stalling and stuff. So it's really good in that way. It's good for procedures. It's amazing for IFR, and it's really good for radio work as well. Hand flying stuff, you can't really do at all to replicate well. You really just have to fly the plane in real life to get better at it. You can understand the process, like as I roll the airplane, I split my lift, so now the airplane's going to start to descend, right? And I have to pull back to maintain. So you can do all that kind of stuff, but the actual technique and the flying part of it is better and is, you know, it's different. So you'll have to do that just in real world to get used to it. Even the training sims we train on at CAE for the RJ are not even close to what the real one feels like. And it gets, you know, it does a good okayish job to get you the ideas, but I think flight sim is, I love it. I loved it forever. It's always been my hobby and my passion, and I was just lucky enough to make my hobby and passion into a job, either like as an airline wise, and I guess technically almost YouTube now is like a side gig. It's all to you guys. I call it paper airplane syndrome. Yeah, everything just kind of like it just floats around everywhere. I found it's a bigger problem in 24 than it was in 2020. 2020 still had it, especially with the smaller airplanes. Like the Cessna, the default Cessna in both sims are just garbage in their flight model. It's good to learn system and flow, not so great for hand flying. Exactly. That's basically what I meant to say, but you said it in a sentence. What is your go-to RJ for this sim? Unfortunately, it's the Aerosoft. I am on the Aerosoft beta team. Right now, they are working on a native build for the RJ, so there will be one coming out. I don't have access to it just yet, but as soon as Hans makes the beta build available to the testers, we'll be able to start testing. So a lot of, there's an airport there, a lot of stuff was going to be changing. For example, I've heard they're going to be fixing the LNAV tracking, the FMS entering, and that kind of stuff. Because right now, if you try to sequence an approach or you load in a different star than you preloaded earlier, it all gets messy in the sim right now. So he's going to be looking into that. We're also going to be jumping on a call like I did when version 2 came out. We're me and Hans are going to jump on a Discord call, a private Discord call, and I'm going to stream to him an RJ flight from start to finish, and I'm going to point out every single thing that I find. I did that for 2.0, and we're going to do it again, and we're going to get that RJ squared away, because it's kind of a shame. We've never had a really good RJ ever in a sim. It's always been like the Aerosoft one or something. It's like, it's okay, but we've never had like a PMDG or a TFDI quality CRJ. I really hope a company can do that. There is a market for it. They might not think it is because Aerosoft already has the RJ out, but if they come out with like a full CRJ with MELs and all that kind of stuff, I'm telling you, people are going to buy it. Let's go put our track IR back on. Actually, let's not do that so I can read your comments real quick. And practice ATC talk. 100%. 100%. It's good to practice that. I still haven't purchased the CRJ V2. I bought the original for 2020, but not for 24 yet. It's free. It's a free update, Jeff. It's a completely free update. Might as well try it. There is some bugs. If you have any problems, be sure to DM me on Discord and we can hop on a call or something. There's no worries on that. And if you have any questions or want to see like a cold and dark or whatever, just feel free to hit me up. Tons of videos on my channel as well for that too, but feel free to call. But the thing about it is, if you've used it before, it's okay. But if you're just getting into the CRJ, it's going to be weird because, again, there is a lot of bugs in it currently. So you might be doing something correctly, but it doesn't do it correctly in the sim. So you might think it's you doing it wrong. So that's the only thing about it right now. I know what it should be doing, and even sometimes to me, I'm like, what the heck? And I got to go back and figure it out because it does some interesting stuff. But anyways, we're flap 20, a little high. We could do a slipping turn if necessary, but we'll just get an early flap 30 in, and we'll just dive her down. Try not to slip as much as possible with people on the airplane. It doesn't feel good at all. Get your comments in just a second, guys. Didn't even look up the CTAF for this airport. Too busy talking. That's okay. Honestly, we can kind of disconnect from VATSIM. There's like really no one here anyways. So I'll just disconnect from that. Reset my view. Don't know if I can trust these pappies, so I'm just going to go off a visual cue. You can see that my nose is currently left. If I go outside, you can see how we're crabbing right now. So there's two methods you can do. You can either, you know, continue crabbing on in like this kind of airliner style, or you could do what's known as a side slip for drift correction. So what I'm going to do, if I wanted to fix it from out here, is I'm going to add my right rudder and then my left aileron to hold it. And on short, small runways, I actually advise doing this from farther away. One, if you're not comfortable with the airliner method of the decrab method, this kind of gets you decrabbed from far out. So I'm holding right rudder, left aileron as necessary. And two, it's just something else you can take out of the equation for later. So if you're not comfortable with the airplane, or if you're it's a very short runway, you might as well just want to do this. But this is our second landing attempt. Holy! Into the in the caravan. Getting battered again. Runway's made. Power idle. Look all the way down to the end, and we're gonna hold it off. Still holding that right rudder. Hold it off. Hold it off. Ah, little flat. Little flat. That's okay. Bring that nose on down. Keep that wind correction in. See that windsock off to the right there? It's blowing from that way. So we're gonna. It's a headwind. So we're gonna go into the headwind. Just gonna roll to the end. Actually, we're gonna turn around. So never mind. We're not gonna roll to the end. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. Believe it or not, guys, on a real flight test, if you do not have your wing corrections in, even during taxi, the examiner could give you either a 2 mark or even fail you on that exercise, depending on how they want to give that to you. I'm holding this full up, so my nose gear, so I'm lessening the pressure off the nose gear. If that makes sense. We're gonna bullet train down this runway. I'll get it reset for the next flight, and then we'll get good to go here. We'll set flaps 20, and we'll put our trim back to the takeoff position, basically where it was. If you guys can send the Saba airport code, that'd be great, and I'll get it all plugged in for you guys as well. Don't taxi this fast on a runway in real life. I'm just doing this for funsies here. I'll get to your comments as well. This yoke is so fantastic with this airplane. Fix my mic right there. All right, full yoke up. We're gonna go ahead and turn her around here. Hold that yoke up. There we go. Oh, there, I got too slow. Center the gear, get her going, then you can continue your turn. All right, let me come to a stop. I'll read you guys' comments, and we'll get set up for the next flight. Get that set there. We'll leave that in beta. Turn my track IR off. TQPF. TQPF. There we go. Whoops. 6 miles away. We can do that. I'll get your comments here. Sorry about that, guys. Let me go all the way up here. Will they finally fix the ILS capturing glide slope? So they don't actually have to fix it. In real life, the CRJ does actually have a very big localizer capture issue. Like, it really does. Bombardier has come out and said it does. Where it's so much so we actually have certain SOPs on how we should capture localizers. So they don't really have to fix that, honestly. I think it's unintentionally in the sim, but honestly, it's kind of real. So you can probably just leave that in there. The glide slope it should do a better job of, though. I'll give you that one. Stranger says, so the default 172 model in the sim is garbage? Absolute trash, in my opinion. From flying it for about 500 hours or so, whatever I had on it, and instructing on it, not good at all. They really need to fix the spin physics. Just the physics in general are just completely off with it. You can really tell a flight model is good or not by stalling and spinning it, and you can kind of see the physics behind it. Climbing turn stall, descending turn stall, spin, slow flight, and you can kind of get a sense of what's going on behind the scenes, and there's not much going on. I'd wait for the A2A one. That's going to be fantastic. Really good. S&A, hello, welcome, thanks for stopping by. Just says, yeah, I just really want the manual throttles to be as forgiving as the real thing. My only gripe with the Airsoft CRJ was the chasing of the throttles. I don't have that problem. If you're in cruise, set about 1,800 pounds per hour per engine. That should keep you roughly about 0.76, 0.78, depending on your altitude. And then very, 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 like, tiny, even in real life, we do very, very minute changes. And set the change and wait for a bit. I've actually had no problem with that in my case. Too much of it. In the Fokker 100, I have, I don't know if you've flown the Fokker 100, but the speed trend in that thing goes crazy with the smallest adjustment. How have you been? I'm been good, S&A. Hope you're doing well. How's your first experience with the Black Square product? Loving it, man. I'm really enjoying it. This is my very first flight ever, or flights that I've done from the start of the stream. Really, really enjoying it. I really like the default 172. The round out to flare me feels pretty much like the real thing, unlike most sims. Yeah, that part's okay-ish. I just don't like the rest of it. The climb performance, the descent performance feels off. The flaps are way too draggy. The stall physics are off. The spin physics are off. The steep turn feels okay-ish, and then the spin is not even close to real. But yeah, the flaring it feels okay. But I hope A2A can really make a really good one. That's what I'm waiting for. I had it back in the FSX days back then. What was this last one? This is TFFG. And we're going to go from TQPF is where we're going to go currently. Let's see, we'll click flight plan. And in here we're going to put the next one, which is TNCS. So we'll go here, and then we'll do a bit of a longer flight all the way to the east, and then we're gonna call it because it's already 4 o'clock, and I gotta go get some steak and stuff. We're gonna be doing a barbecue tonight. Let me take a drink from my Top Gun cup. Thanks a lot. That's my island. It's known as one of the millionaire and billionaires playground. That's awesome, man. You live there? That's really cool. Let's go. Let's get over there. Let's set flap 20. Is what I've been told. which is kind of insane for a takeoff flap. But that's what I've been told. That rest of it, nah. I just like how it feels in the motion in VR. Oh yeah, in VR it's probably pretty cool. I have a Pimax Crystal Light. I've owned it for a while. I used to have the Reverb and the Quest, or not the Quest, the what's it called? The Rift. I used to have all that for DCS. Now I have the Crystal Light. I just got sent the Super from Pimax, which I'll be reviewing for you guys shortly. But I'm in the. I just got partnered with Next Level Racing as well, so I'm waiting for that to come in before I start doing DCS again, because I have a lot of cool DCS stuff to show you from Moza and from Wing Control here soon. All right, everything's good to go. Everything's looking good. Release our brakes there. A little bit of right rudder, a little bit of left aileron input for that wind. Speed's alive. It's rotating on its own. Let her just go. It was set for the takeoff trim, so I don't know if that would be how that would fly in real life, but I don't know. I've never flown a Caravan. Sorry if you guys hear the drilling in the back. It's very annoying. They've been going at it for like 5 years now in my condo, unfortunately. I could put my mic volume a bit lower if needed. I'm gonna get my flaps in a second. I just want to clear this little valley first before I do anything because of that. So we'll keep the flaps nicely configured for the time being. I wish I had a good enough VR for the sim. Yeah, which VR do you use? My little Oculus can't handle any of it. I mean, if you want to get into Pimax, we have a Pimax discount code. Might be a little out of your price range if I don't know what you're looking to spend. But the Quest 3 is also good too, flap 10. The Pimax Crystal Light, Super, Dream Air, all of it. You can use code CFI. You save 3% on all your whole order. So I know it sounds little, but it ends up being about $100 off. Flap 0. I prefer my Crystal Light compared to the Super. Really, yeah, I found that the Crystal Light, I haven't used the Super. They sent me the Super OLED. I find that the lenses are insanely smaller, which I wasn't expecting. But I haven't used the Super just yet. The Super OLED, it looks cool. I also don't have lenses for it, unfortunately. I require glasses, so it's going to be a bit of an annoying, task to try. That's okay. Alright, flaps are all the way 0. We're on the way over to TQ something, PF? Whatever someone wrote in there. I think Jax wrote it in there. Or Zip. The Dreamer is intriguing though. Less weight would be best in my setup. Yeah, I tried at the Expo, just at the last Expo we just did, and it was pretty nice. I mean, I couldn't tell if the visuals were clear or not. I think they had to wipe the lenses down, and I also needed my own lenses. So I couldn't tell if it was just me, the VR, or whatever, but it would be nice to have a trial model. I think I'll be having a trial version of that being sent out to my house for review shortly. So they got a runway, oops, back. Runway goes east-west. We'll land to the east again. All the winds are favoring that today in this area. Let's use my Super Pilot Vision view. There's the runway right there. There you go. This is his island right here. Looks freaking beautiful. We'll just join the mid-left downwind for it. Keep it nice and simple. I love the Black Square aircraft. I wish it would implement the G1000 and G3X as a Satanic. As that sounds, just all the G1000 hardware on the market and no good. Yeah, that's fair. I do have a Moza G1000 panel here. Actually, I can show you in a second. Give me 1 second here. Actually, it's quite stuffed away in my peripherals area. But anyways, it's a G1000 panel made by Moza, and it's really cool. but that's fair. There's not a lot. I mean, there is the Kodiak you can use. I guess there's the TBM you can use. It's a G3000, I think, in the TBM or whatever, but, you know, kind of close. It would be nice if this had a G1000 variant. I'm not big on the G1, I'll be honest. I actually prefer the gauges like this, but when I get hardware, I kind of want to use it. So just descending on down for the 1000 for the mid-left downwind. This airplane hand flies beautifully. Other than the Microsoft turbulence, which I know Captain Canada told me to set, he told me to turn the turbulence to like low or medium and then use RealCat turb. I found that RealCat turb doesn't really do anything for me, really. So it's like Microsoft is too much, but then RealCat turb is like nothing. So I don't know which one to go with, to be honest. I was low-key gonna get the black square so I could do some MQT, MKE, and dude, you'll love it, man. This thing's really cool. I don't like the way the Caravan looks, like aesthetically. It looks like a freaking, like a tank, which makes it good at its job, but I just don't like the way it looks. But it hand flies real well, and the simulation of it is fantastic. Really, really well done. Crystal light sounds like a powder drink. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I wore my glasses in the Super and had no issues. Okay. Yeah, I was scared I'd like scratch the lenses because I got to send it back to them. The light I purchased a while ago, and that one's mine, but the Super is theirs. Super OLED. All right. It's not that bad, I'm sure. All right, let's bring our power back a wee bit. Set flap 10. Did it work? Flap 10. Turn our base leg here, a little bit of trim. Get your comments in just a second, guys. It's kind of hard to read the comments with track IR because then my view just does that. So runway's just ahead. Pappies are showing all high. That's fine. We can fix that. We'll go flap 20. Start a nice gentle left-hand turn. Let's reset my track IR there. Yeah, that left turn was started way too early. I forgot how tight these things can turn. That's okay. We'll carry it in with the wind here. Alrighty. Flap full. A little bit of power. Like in a Cessna, I don't know about a Caravan, but in a Cessna, you'd be flipped over if I did that. Like, it seems like I can't really counteract the wind as quickly as I should be able to counteract it. But I think, again, that's a Microsoft-ism. That's not a black square problem. Don't know what the approach speed of this airplane is, but I think it's around here. Runway is made. I'm gonna go power idle. Again, I don't know if they do that in the Caravan. The yoke stiffens up quite a bit. Just gonna hold her level a little bit up. Oh, that was too much. Up, up, up. Nice. Perfect. You know what? We can do it. Touch and go. Flap 20. Retrim that. Don't ever do that either in real world. But in video game land, we're gonna do it. Also, this airplane is like a short field airplane, so I mean, I can rotate right now and it'll go. It's very impressive, this airplane. What it can do is insane. And we're just gonna continue on to the next airport. I'll stop my track error there. Let me bring up the comments real quick. So glad to see someone flying here, man. I've always asked many streamers. You just owned yourself another subscriber. Oh, good. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. That's a nice little island. You go flap 10. I would like to live. Well, that's a terrible runway track. I'd like to live in the Billionaires Playground. What do you work? What do you do on the island? Do you work there, or do you like commute somewhere else? Gonna run LGB to Honolulu to recreate my IRL flights. Nice. Enjoy, my friend. Jeff says, the real question, are you a pro teardrop or a no drop? You mean like a P180? Maybe we could go do one right now if you want to. I think I know what you're talking about. We call them P180s where I'm in Canada, so the Precision 180 we're like with an engine fail. We'll even do it to the right. Oh, let's pause that. That's the only thing about track error is I can't read comments all nicely. That's my exact boat I'm in. I prefer the round gauges, but when you have the hardware, it would be nice to use. Exactly. That's the same thing as me. Jet welcome back. Because it's an actual drink, I remember. Oh, it is. Last time I flew the SAB, I was doing some Win Air ops. Okay, interesting. Let's fly this plane a little bit better here. Bobby, hello. Hey, Bobby, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Afternoon, Matt. How are you liking this? It's powered with the TDSG TNX 750. I have no idea what that is, but I think it actually is. Is that it right there? Because if it is, then yes. It's very good. I like this plane a lot. I'm enjoying it quite a bit, and I think I just blew past my points, but we'll go power idle. Too busy talking. One second here. Go back here. Let me do that again because I'm definitely not making the fuel from there. But I think I know what Jeff wants me to do here. Let me go back to where the down one was. About there. I'll just start again just to make sure. Little trick. I don't know if it works in the Caravan, but if you keep half the strut to the runway, you're pretty much guaranteed to gonna make the field. I mean, unless you screw up, but. Not the P180 students that do teardrop into base final instead of joining the 45. I don't think we do that. Here we only do, we don't even do a 45. Here we do mid left, or we could do straight end downwinds. That's all I really join over here. But we'll say you lost the engine. Pitch for 65 is the first thing you're supposed to do. I don't know, oh, your glide speed. I don't know what the glide speed is in the Caravan. I'm gonna hopefully say it's like 80? Maybe? We'll pitch for about 80. I'm kind of just guessing, to be honest with you guys. You want to be higher than lower on this approach. You can always bleed off the altitude if needed. Not always, but... And then once you've for sure made the field, you can start adding flap. Now, Microsoft has weird drag, so it might look like you're ridiculously high, but I bet that we're actually going to be okay. So we'll go flap 10, flap 20, flap 30. You can add a ton of this. Not going to hold it for too long. I don't want to lose too much height doing this, but now we're just side. So we got right rudder, left aileron input. We're idle thrust. Idle thrust, idle thrust. Well, throttle, I guess I should say. It's not really thrust. I'm going to let it go just to have a little bit of extra playroom if I need it. Still holding idle. Still holding idle. So that'd be like a P180. I kind of held it a little high in the final, but got her down nice here. You get 2 landings in your island there. Just play the nose. It could have been better. Alright, flap 20. Bring that power all the way up. Let's see, the trim is good. She just takes off. I don't have to do anything. Set like that, set like that. Cool. Well, let me get the comments here. You guys are going quick today. You guys make me work today. But butter chasing in the sim is such a hard habit to break. It is. It is definitely. Brian, hello. Hey, Brian. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Excellent beta range should. Yeah. Or excellent beta range sound. Yes, it is. Flap 10. You work there. Check out Angulia on Google. I'll have to do that. Not a P180 student said, I never saw any teardrop in flight school. Yeah, I don't think we don't really practice or preach them either. Like when I was teaching there, we would never teach that. Just got 2 more Pro SM throttles, 50% off. You use the code as well, JBS. You get 50% plus the code. That's kind of insane if you did. Yohem says, yeah, no teardrop in Canada. Yeah, I'd never heard about it. We never taught it either. So I'm not really sure. When I fly, we typically, oh sorry, best glide in Caravan is 95. Oh, I was way under that. I was at 80. I was just guessing. How do I fly? Sorry, when I fly, we typically overfly the airfield and do a teardrop for the 45 downwind. Yeah, we don't do the 45 in Canada either. That's not a thing here. It's actually kind of funny because we'll get Americans coming here doing 45s and it causes like a big conflict. It's kind of funny. It's not funny because you might midair, but you know what I mean. Z-Sim says awesome. Yeah, no worries. We went from VFR to IFR, but as I said, we're just gonna fly this IFR. Laps are 0. Let's set this up properly. Let's go flight plan. This button, that button, direct, enter. Flight plan. Let's use this DAP 500 panel here. This thing's really cool. So watch this. I can go heading sync if I want to. I don't really need to. Autopilot, vertical speed, nav. And the yoke also moves with it too. Really, really cool stuff. Let's go direct, enter. There we go. Temperature is ridiculously hot. No icing's gonna be assumed here. Now let's go up to, that's 1,000 to go. We have 30 miles to go. Let's go up to flying eastbound. Wait. We're flying westbound. Let's go up to 8,000. We'll go ahead and arm that. And then vertical speed wise, we'll do about 1,000 a minute. Actually, we could do about 1,200. Should work out quite well for us. Now, I don't want to hold my right pedal this whole time. I'm going to wait till the airplane levels off here, and then I'm going to add some trim. Interesting. Direct, enter. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of right rudder trim. Just to bring that ball back in the center. I really don't want to hold it. And I'm definitely going to forget that I did that. But we're going to do it. There we go. The yoke is working hard right now. Depending on the traffic, the actual airplane. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, it was either 50% or the code. Didn't stack, so I'll take the 50%, got 57, and 777 throttles. Well, I hope you enjoy them. They look pretty cool. They have a huge sale on right now. They do, yeah, guys. If you want to check out Pro Death Sim, big sale going on right now. This is like a. I've noticed that Microsoft weather looks worse than it actually is. But this is like a pretty severe like sell that we just flew into. But it's fine. Like it's there's no precip. There's nothing coming out of it. So. Yeah, Microsoft weather is a little interesting as well. In Canada, we are only allowed to join circuit either overhead the field or the mid-left or downwind. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I think I know what you guys are talking about. You guys talk about the turnaround procedure is what we call it. So like, let's say this is my airport here, like this, and let's say I'm landing this way. So I can either join, in Canada, you can either join the mid-left downwind, you can join the straight-in downwind, but if you're coming from, let's say, this side, you can fly up, let me move my mic, you can fly 500 feet above the circuit height, go on the dead side, then turn back around, join mid-left. Is that what you're talking about? Because that's what we can do that. We call it the turnaround procedure. Some people refer to it as the teardrop, if that's what you're talking about. But we don't take it into the 45, we take it right into the mid-left. Vertical speed of 800 a minute. This DAP panel is so good. I have a review on this on my channel as well, the Wingflex DAP 500. It's amazing for airplanes like this. I think, guys, the stream went longer than planned because I'm actually I'm really enjoying this airplane. So we might not be able to do the MD-11 stream as I gotta go get stuff for my barbecue. But this was a very fun stream. I might push the MD-11 stream to tomorrow, so just be there tomorrow for that. Should probably check my fuel status here. Where is that? We're gonna find it eventually. Right there. They're about... call it 750 pounds or so. But Jeff, you're still here. Really appreciate you stopping by. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. And everybody for that matter as well. Yeah, cloud and weather MSFS is overdramatic. It is, yeah. Oh yeah, we do that, but I don't know if that was what Jeff was referencing. Yeah, I'm not sure. If it was that, then we do that. We do the turnaround procedure. So coming from the opposite side, like the downwind is here. Coming from the opposite side, 500 above, go to the dead side of the circuit, do a descending, I guess teardrop, we call it the turnaround, but descending right or left-hand turn, then join the mid-left. But we don't take it for the 45, so that's why I didn't really understand what he meant. Left fuel tank burns more on the Cessna 208. Yeah, and there's, let's see if it's the same reason as the 172. Well, the 172, the reason it burns more on the left than the other side, one, some people say you're always having to add rudder and all that stuff. I believe it's more due to the fact that you are, you have the fuel vent on your left wing in the Cessna 172. And that ventilation on that left wing helps push down the left fuel faster than it does the right. I don't know if the vent is also on this airplane the exact same way or not. Honestly, it probably is, because Cessna does kind of the same deal. But, and yes, each fuel cap on the Cessna is, at least the 172, is also ventilated as well. But the actual 172 has that little fuel vent. This airplane's pretty peppy. We're going 140 knots. It's not too bad, I guess. That's about the approach we do the CRJ. But for a little turboprop, and it gets quite high as well, right? 25,000 it can reach. Is that correct? Somewhere around there. Gonna miss the landing. No worries, Jax. Well, I really appreciate you being here, and we're going to the airport you requested. I think this is the one you said, right? TNCS. But we'll see you. Later on. Anytime, I gotta run, but talk soon for sure, Jeff. Feel free to send me a message as well if you want anything for the RJ. Any questions or anything you want, feel free to holler at me. Discord's in the description, or you can just DM me, whatever you like to do. Stranger says, you prefer the DAP 500 over the buttons on the yoke, or is it more of realism aspect? I have never used these buttons on the yoke at all. You can do this, but this doesn't have a vertical speed function, doesn't have an altitude knob. So this has headings, heading sync, heading mode. It has tons of functions. Alt select IIS, VNAV, vertical speed, alt hold, vertical speed adjust, level flight, yaw damper, flight director, autopilot, approach, nav, track, heading, heading sync, and heading knob. So it just has so many features that this does not have. Look on the landing. One of it's not the shortest runway in the world. One of, but it's not. Oh, it's like a pretty short one. Well, we'll see how it goes. We have 5 minutes to go. We're at 8,000 feet. If I do 1,000 a minute, that takes 8 minutes. So I should probably start descending now. We'll set this to 1,500. Vertical speed, we'll do 15, and we'll bring our power back. I find that the autopilots in sims are like really aggressive. Usually most autopilots do 3 degrees or less per second of pitch, but they kind of just like, they like abruptly do things in the sim. So if I do 2,000 a minute, it'll take me 4 minutes. So we should be pretty good. 2,000 minutes is probably a little excessive for passengers on board in this type of airplane. Yeah, but I really enjoy this plane. It's a lot of fun to just kind of hop around. Definitely worth the $40, in my opinion. Whoops. All right, this one we're going to start flight recorder for. This will be the last landing of the stream. There's the island coming up ahead. Gonna reset my trim so I don't forget to do it later. Not that one. Add a little bit of right foot. Just because I don't know where we're going to approach from, I'll press select approach. Basically the 12 is the only option we got. We'll select vectors, load, procedure, activate vectors to final. Alright, so it's going that way. Let's do this. Heading mode. Actually, yes, heading mode will work just fine. Go to about a 240 heading or so. Runway is going to be just, I think, on this little part right there. So we'll kind of just visually bring it in. Bigger turnout for this stream than I thought. Thank you guys so much for watching. Gonna back off the vertical speed a little bit. We'll do about 1,000 a minute. We'll add our power back in. Alright, so this airport's short, I've been told. So no messing around here. That's it, isn't it? Uh-oh. Alright, let's bring the power back. Get a bit lower. Autopilot disengaged. Track IR. Track IR again. Sorry. There we go. Really quickly, I want to try something on the Moza software. Yep, it's short one cliff on both ends. Amazing. Can't even see it. Oh, it's that, isn't it? Alright. So we'll fly to the rock and then turn left. Cool. If you've gone past the rock, you've gone too far and you've exploded. Got it. Cumulus granite. Turn that system off. Full brakes. We'll be fine. Alright, let's start getting set up from here. I'm gonna go flap 10. Flap 20. Anyone know the VREF of this thing? I've been kind of just eyeballing the approach speed, but I think for this one we're going to want the actual approach speed. How's the plane? Love it. Really, really good. Alright, turning short final. Let's go and press the record button on my flight recorder. It's so slow. There we go. Full flap. Should try to land 737 this trip. Let's not do that. We're not Swiss 001. I'll let him do that. I'm expecting some downdraft from this mountain coming off here. It's honestly one of my favorites in the sim. It handles so well. It's so joy to fly. It really is. When we get a little bit closer, I'm going to add my right rudder for the drift correction for the wind. We'll do that when we get a little closer, though. So are we rescheduling MD-11 flight? I'm over there waiting. Yeah, unfortunately we're rescheduling because I got into this and it went a little longer than I thought, and I gotta go shop for some barbecue things. I wasn't planning 3 streams today, but we'll reschedule for tomorrow. Sorry about that, Tony. Alright, let's get a little lower. A little bit of a forward slip real quick. Whoa, that was trash. Let's do that again. I lost all lift near the end. We actually could have made that, but we're gonna go again. And you guys know me. I'm not flying all the way back around. We're just gonna do this. There we go. I had like 80 knots with nose down. Everything's going well, and you just feel... Physics in this game are trash, man. It's not the physics, it's the wind. The wind in this game is just completely off. And the way it flows down peaks and all that kind of stuff. If anything, going over land should give you an updraft. Because now you have ground effect. It should not suck you into the ground. Oh, I know what it is. Wait a minute. No, I know what it is. I just changed my profile. That's what it was. Let me go back to where it was. Because I'm barely pulling. I'm like, what the heck, man? Profile. I'll put it back. I'll get her fixed up. Yeah, now I can actually maneuver the the airplane without it going everywhere. Note to self, do not change profiles of Moza on short final. Oh wait, I shouldn't be going for butter here, should I? I'm like trying to like butter it down. That was still very bad. And my beta's not working. Oh no. We're going sailing. We're going sailing. I'm like trying to butter it. Do this again. Anyone know the VREF for this airplane? Is it 80 or is it 60? It's probably 60. I'm gonna come in slower. DCS stream when? Never, buddy. We're gonna stream DCS. I gotta get my next level racing set up first. Alright. Okay. I don't know why it just does that. It shouldn't be doing that. You come over the land, you get ground effect, not a downdraft. I think 60 works quite well, though. I'm determined for this now. I'm just going to keep resetting myself until my barbecue starts. It also doesn't slow down, so we're going to get this thing slow. And we're going to stall out. There we go. You guys ready for this? I'm still idle thrust, by the way. There. It won't slow down on final. You really need to set up your controls so you're flying from the left seat when the throttle's in the right. I mean, IRL left seat flying is to happen soon. Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably be setting up later once my next level racing chair comes back in. Holding right rudder right now, by the way, for this to work. Do another one. It is an amazing aircraft. It's really, really cool. It's an MSFS thing, mate. Don't hurt your head. Yeah, I know. I hate it, man. It's so dumb. Let's get rid of that. Stop replay. Record. Please record. Thank you. There we go. Get nice and lower. Alright. I've been idle this whole descent. Like, there's no need to do anything. It is a very short runway. It's actually a lot of fun. Maybe not to start from here. Let's get my recording back on. Yeah, I don't know what the approach speed is in this thing. I'm thinking it's around 70 or full flap. I'm thinking 70 is where it likes to live, but I don't know. Yeah, we got her, boys. No more flukes over here. Alright, well, I'll play the replay. And we'll turn the cameras off. We'll turn track IR off. A little flat. Yeah, she hand flies really, really well. Really, really well. The only thing stopping is the MSFS amazing wind modeling. It'd be such a crazy approach to see from a window. I would be terrified looking at that. Well, I guess you can look forward as well, but... Nice. Sweet. Well, this is going to end the stream here, guys. Really appreciate you guys all watching. We'll play this replay out, and we're going to call it a day. I have to push the MD11 stream to tomorrow, unfortunately. Sorry about that, but we'll be at the MD11 tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye for me now.